If I had a nickel for every time I almost drowned, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's surprising that it happened twice. Hi friends, it is Johnny back with another video, and today it is time for another story time. This week we are talking about the time I jumped off a cliff and almost drowned. Before starting, I just want to say, I'm sorry you have to stare into the void that is my hair. I can't find my hat right now. So you're stuck looking at the nest. Anyway, back when I was about 12, 13 at the time, my parents took us to a water park. I don't remember the name of it, and I'm fairly certain it probably doesn't still exist anymore because it was pretty dangerous when you think about it. But either way, we were having a nice time, you know, the water slides, the river ride, and all that kind of stuff. It was okay. Then, things took a turn. I went to go do a zipline thing where, like, you zipline and you just drop into the water. And they're like, stay flat, so you can just go straight down. Unfortunately for me, somehow going like that ended up me going like that, so I ended up belly flopping real hard, okay? And first of all, it hurt, okay? I didn't realize belly flopping hurt, but belly flopping hurts, okay? I got out of the water, humiliated because, you know, there's a lot of people looking and laughing and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, hey, this is what my self-esteem needs, to be pushed down even further. But I realized, like, I felt something when I was talking. It turns out that I chipped one of my teeth. So, unfortunately, it was one of my adult teeth. So now if you ever look at my front 2 teeth, one of them's a little longer than the other one. It's because the one that's shorter was the one that got chipped, and it just like took off a little bit of the tip. So the day took a turn for me, let's just say that. After that, we went on a couple more rides, and then all of a sudden, we were passing going to another ride, and we realized that there's a cliff jump here. We look and we're like, ooh, okay, that looks fun. It didn't look too high. It was 50 feet. The cliff jump is 50 feet. Let me just say that 50 feet, when you're passing like the pool where you like jump into, 50 feet doesn't look too high. So keep with me here, okay? My aunt takes my sister and they go to like the river ride because she's too little at the time. And my parents and I go to do the cliff jump. We get up there and I swear, just like, it is so ridiculously high. I wasn't expecting this like at all. So they decided that it would be best to have like a parent, then me, then a parent. So my dad was the first one to jump. My dad, being someone that was in the military, trained with this kind of shit, and he did it no problem. He's like, all right, bye. He like jumps off. My mom and I are just there like, you know, just having mild panic attacks. Because I don't like heights. I love roller coasters and rides and stuff like that, but I'm secure. I'm like strapped in, you know what I mean? So I'm not experiencing like the freeness of like the height, if that makes any sense. Dad, you know, jumped down already. He got out of the pool, he swam, and he's fine. It's my turn. I walk up to the edge and I look down and oh my god, I just saw the longest drop in the world. You know how like in those movies or TV shows, when someone's about to do like a high dive for the first time and they see like, they look down and all of a sudden it's like, they're like 19 stories up and stuff like that. That's how it was for me. Like legitimately, I was up there 50 feet high and I'm just like, oh, like I might as well have been on top of Mount Everest because that was So the guy that, you know, tells you when you can jump and like hold, okay, jump, sees me just like shaking. And he's like, it's best not to think about it, okay? I know you're afraid, but the sooner you jump, the sooner you're down there, and you're safe, you're fine. If you know how to swim, you're okay. And I'm like, I know how to swim, I'm good. And so, he's like, he talks me into it. He's like, there's no reason to be afraid, and blah, blah, blah. And so, I look back at my mom. My mom must have seen this.
I'm sorry.
And then I just like run out and have a whole ass Wile E. Coyote moment where I'm like kind of floating there for a split second because I feel like I didn't fall right away. I feel like I ran, like I took like 2 more steps out in the emptiness. And then my body's like, all right, let's fall. So they tell you, you know, cross your legs and cross your arms. So you're going like straight down, like kind of like a drill, but without like the twirling. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have much strength and the wind was insane falling. So I'm there screaming at the top of my lungs, just falling to what I presume is my death. And as I'm there like this like screaming. My arms get like pulled apart and I'm just like flapping in the wind. My legs get pulled apart and they're flapping in the wind. And that's the when I'm like, oh no. I like cross my legs to like really like force the grip. I'm like, I'm not letting that happen. Because I'm pretty sure I can break something if I land like that, you know what I mean? And so I'm there falling for a minute. I scream, I'm out of air. I have enough time to literally and go back to screaming in the time that I'm falling. But unfortunately, by the time I hit the water, I have no more air in my lungs. So I like go straight down into like the bottom of the pool. It was, I think it was 16 feet, which isn't a lot, but when you're out of air, that is so much. So I'm at the base of like the pool and I just start swimming up real hard. And I'm like swimming and swimming and swimming. And no matter how much I swim, the surface doesn't seem like it's getting any closer. And I'm starting to see everything going. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. So I'm like swimming harder and harder. And I'm just there thinking like, oh God, I'm gonna die. The entire time. I'm like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And finally, I feel my hand like pass the surface. So like I feel the air and I just like kind of push myself off the water basically. And I'm like, and I just like I just float there for a minute, like catching my breath and like, okay, you gotta swim out. I'm like, can you give me a minute? Give me a minute. So I swim out. I'm there still catching my breath. Dad's like, you did good. I'm like, did I? Did I really? I feel like I flailed like a crash test dummy or something in the air, just like, woo, you know? Then it's my mom's turn. My mom gets to the edge and she doubts it and goes to turn back around and just walk back down. The guy's like, what kind of mother are you? You're gonna let your son jump and you're not gonna jump yourself? So he guilt trips her. He truly guilt tripped my mother into jumping off that cliff. She's like, oh fuck, he's right, I can't do it, fine. So mom jumps, and now we're all just there slightly traumatized, at least mom and I were. Dad was just like, it's a Tuesday, you know? When we leave the area and we go back to like meet up with my aunt and my sister, mom's like, how was it? Me and my mom just there like, it was so far. It was a long jump. I felt like I was in the air for at least like 5 minutes. My aunt's like, yeah, I can't swim, so I'm glad I couldn't do it. But yes, that is the time that I almost drowned after jumping off of a cliff. Why can I say that I've almost drowned a few times and I've jumped off of several cliffs? I swear I'm not that adventurous. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the story because I really enjoyed telling it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and bing bong the ding dong down below to be alerted when I make a new video. And why not check out some of my other videos? I have some more story time, some fever dreams, some Florida men, some let's plays, some randomness. I have a little something for everybody. And while you're at it, why not share your favorite video of mine with your friends? We could always use some more friends on the channel. And until next time, bye!
What you no mas, impes you no mas, hurry this back, let's make you one of